What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, we are going to do a VOD review of YBY1 from the APAC Star Guardian Cup. But before we do it, I do just want to flex. I cannot believe it, man. I played Trials Day 2 after complaining about it so hard because the format does legitimately suck. And I actually had the God run second, first. So I made it through. I made it through this insane Trials format, and I get to play in the Tacticians Cup, which I think is next week, right? I think it's next week. So I get to play Tacticians Cup. Woo! I mean, 39 points. I literally almost had a perfect day. I just started the game the day off with a second. So pretty good. So Unk still got it, as someone in my Discord said, and don't you forget it. All these people out here acting like, yeah, I'm a beast, and you guys know it, which is good. You know what else is a beast is YBY1. He did not win the APAC Tacticians Cup. Actually, Iron Bog ended up winning, but I took a look at both of their games, and honestly, I think YBY1 played better. I mean, it is just and this is all his webcam stuff. Don't worry about me. I took a look at both of their games just really briefly, and I do think YBY1 played more interesting games of TFT, more interesting lines, and just I don't know, the stuff that I'm more interested to watch. So that's what we are going to watch today. Is Mr. YBY1. Hilarious, he doesn't even hold up. He doesn't hold on the Ezreal at all here. It's kind of crazy he doesn't even hold it at all here, but he's just thinking, I'm gonna play this for sure. Also, I don't know what's going on. He's getting like DMs from some kind of, I don't know what's going on here. In any case, he's going to throw 3 Star Guardian on the board here. Pretty surprised, actually, about the 3 Star Guardian fields here, because this does open you up to potentially hitting Star Guardian Emblem as a tailor. My understanding, what I've heard from 2-1 Augment tailorers, is that you're supposed to play 1 Star Guardian to tailor for the little team, tiny team. Yeah, you're supposed to put 1 Star Guardian so you can tailor for tiny team, but not find Star Guardian Emblem. Maybe he wants Star Guardian Emblem? A little weird. I mean, to be fair, hopefully on the patch that's coming out next week, 2-1 tailoring will be fixed, so we'll see. I mean, certainly it will be. All right, this is Scuttle Puddle, so you know you have a lot of econ already. So triple econ, augment start. I don't think we really want any of these ideally, and I would definitely take a second win over any of this. Now you kind of have to think about it. Do you want second win, or do you want the component anvils? The component anvils does allow you to slam something. I would personally just grab second wind here and say we're playing Star Guardian. I mean, there's one person with keepers, they're playing Star Guardian, and yeah, he does opt to take the component anvils here, so prefers that a little bit higher, which is interesting to me, because I do think second wind is just, I think quite highly of that as an augment, because you can play Star Guardian with it and feel really good about it. So yeah, he's actually chilling right now, not popping anvil immediately here. Gonna rotate into a Crystal Gamut player here and win the first fight, which is kind of funny. I think YBY1's a little bit more interested to play Lost Streak here. I would say, like, if you had to ask me what is he actually playing in this spot, I would imagine it is Star Guardian. Component anvils is nice because, I mean, getting to pick your items, you can play into a Kali is another kind of like common component anvils comp, because that's a comp you really need to get to Nashers, which is very awkward to get to when you're not Pandora's or component anvils. My cat is going crazy, man. But Star Guardian is another one of those comps where, I mean, you want all the Shieldly items onto Poppy, you want, Shojin plus like IE onto Jinx, Shojin IE GS, honestly. All right, let's look at power up here. We have Star Sailor, which we're obviously not going to take. This is Golden Edge, or not Golden Edge, but the Gold Collector one, and over 9,000. I think, yeah, we take the Gold Collector one here, the one with the Execute. I don't know, Midas Touch is its name. So we take Midas Touch here. Good early pickup, love an early Midas Touch, because, I mean, it's combat and it can farm you gold. And it did already. I mean, that's +1 gold. Huge, even though we're in a portal that, we don't care about it too much. He's still talking with his webcam. This is so weird, but okay. Garanon on this board would be... Oh, actually, I mean, yeah, we could play Yasuo. Yeah, he's actually not going to play Bastion here. He's going to play the Yasuo because Yasuo... I mean, he's a fantastic unit early, and he's actually edgelord with the Xayah, so a great in here. I mean, even just getting the Sensei bonus, or Mentor as we call it here, is pretty good here. Pop Anvil here. Imagine this is looking at IE for, the Star Guardian potential line here. But, world's our oyster here. Don't have to hard commit to anything. And the Rod, it's kind of funny being stuck on Syndra here because, like, you really want that Rod to turn into Crown Guard if you are playing Star Guardian. Could be Morello as well. It's the other big one. So we'll see. Well, YBY1 wants to take off Carousel here. Chain is a great item if you are, playing towards Star Guardian. He opts to take Tier, though, which is kind of interesting. I mean, you can play Tier still into Star Guardian. You can use your Tier and just turn this into, half of a Shojin, and we're guaranteed to get more component anvils, so we'll be able to, man, he is typing away to this spectator person. Can't play Kobuko anymore. Normally he's like kind of a nice, and where's my kitty? Oh, she's just licking her plate. Okay. You know, normally Kobuko, a nice in on these boards, and one that you want to play obviously later in game in the Star Guardian board, but obviously we have Yasuo in already, so we can't play for that. Gonna take another loss here. I mean, it's a pretty just chill loss streak opener here from YBY1. I mean, I think this kind of loss streak opener is a lot more acceptable. And yeah, he's actually just going to swap out the Yasuo completely for Shen here because he gives you Bastion and Edgelord. It's a lot more acceptable in this portal where you have all this extra econ. It was interesting. I think it was Marcel P tweeted about how he actually felt that in his tournament games, he should have played more kind of like full open loss streak, you know, guarantee your items. This is a very item reliant patch with, you know, the 2 dominant 4-cost lines, Akali and Star Guardian. I mean, really, there's one dominant 4-cost line, which is Star Guardian. With both of those existing, you really do. Both of those need very, very specific items. So pick up Set here, which is kind of an interesting hold. I think a lot of people would probably just like not even hold this. But we also get Pan here, which I think starts to kind of spice things up. Now we have, once again, our components here. So, you know, we can build whatever we want, and we have a Reforger. So any Pan, any Spat, we can build in this spot. So YBY1 has a lot of options available to him, and he takes this one, which I think is interesting. I think a lot of people would say, I'm going to play Star Guardians from this spot. I already have a Star Guardians opener. I can make Star Guardian Spat here. No, he pops all of his anvils here, and he is going to make IE here. He is going to make a tank item here. He's going to take, what was that? I almost had a really long text there. I almost thought it was like weights or something like that. No. This is the one where you get armor and MR, and then you convert it into AD and AP as well. So good enough here. But yeah, he commits to Soul Fighter at 3-1 here with the +1. He thinks that highly of Soul Fighter from +1, which is wild to me. But I mean, hey, let's see how it goes. We see Keepers here, so feel a little bit bad that we threw out the Star Guardian angle, but obviously we do have this set already. You don't really need Econ Augment in this portal. I guess you would take this one, the roll the dice here. But here's the other crazy call from YBY1 here. We take the Golemify here, and then we are going to roll just a tiny bit here. We pick up a Jinx immediately, which is crazy. And now this is our spot here. We are Golemify Soul Fighters, which I think in theory actually makes a lot of sense. This Soul Fighters comp is one that's kind of interesting. I mean, Samira is kind of, she's not a scaling unit, but she's almost a scaling unit. She has to cast multiple times to get off her big giant cast. She also, you know, you want to give them adequate time to stack up Soul Fighter. So I don't know. Earlier in the set, I thought of Soul Fighter as being a very fast-paced comp because, like, you know, you can blow people up pretty quickly. But the more I think about it, the more I do think it is a comp that actually requires a very solid front line. And Golemify, I mean, what better front line to have than Golemify here? Also meant that we got to eat, you know, a giant set that had a Spirit Visage on him, so that's a bunch of HP. He hasn't, I don't think he's clicked onto this Golem yet, but it's got a lot of HP, is what I'll say. It is a big old Golem, so makes sense. And him hitting the Jinx, and very quickly also put us into a fantastic spot just to, you know, item carry for a little while. I mean, she's decent enough here, especially with the Soul Fighter emblem. I mean, we can play around this for a while. She's obviously not going to fit on the Soul Fighter board down the line, but I mean, you can see why I wanted to watch this game instead of, you know, Iron Bog, like, played some, you know, fine games of TFT, but he played some Star Guardian, he played some other stuff. I mean, this is wild stuff, and even continuing to be wild here. Tier take on Carousel with Rod open. The idea being we need some kind of mana gen item onto to Samira here, so we are not going to. Even though it's a tad bit awkward that, you know, our items that are open right now are Rod plus Tier, he says, I must take this in this spot. I have to, I need to get to, you know, either a blue buff or a Shojin or even like an adaptive helm onto Samira just to make sure that she's got something. We're also solo frontlining the Golem here, just making sure that the Golem is, you know, first to take full aggro here, give time for the rest of our Soul Fighters to ramp up. And I mean, yeah, the Golem is just kind of a monster on boards like these. It's been a sec, honestly, since I've seen someone take Golemify. Wait a minute, it's Jinx pair here. This is actually hilarious. We power up Udyr here, 20% and 1.5. Actually, what is that power up? 20%, 15, 1.5. I feel like this should be obvious. Like this is highlighted, which I feel like is something I should know. All right, I'll translate it real quick while we watch the rest of this. Where I don't have this thing bookmarked. Boom, translate. All right. But yeah, I mean, the spot is looking pretty solid. No econ augment here. Oh, it's just the big stun guy. The auto translate calls it Colossal Beast here, which is a way cooler name than what the actual name is, which for some reason is escaping me. But all right, chilling here, continuing win streak. Yeah, the nice thing is we're no econ augment in this econ portal, which is allowing us to just, I mean, take double combat, potentially even triple combat here. We'll see what our last augment is, but very realistically triple combat here, and just throw down Tankzilla is what it's called. Yeah, Colossal Beast. Nah, Tankzilla is kind of fun. But yeah, we kind of get to do whatever. We take the tier here, guarantee the blue buff, which is huge here. Gonna take glove here, looking for last item. I mean, we already have IE. I wonder if we would ever consider a double IE. It's not too bad. And then this rod item, I was thinking, oh, GS is going to be the slam here. Yeah, I was thinking of this as, I mean, I think GS is a fantastic last item. I was thinking of this rod as turning into a tank item, but no, he takes the glove, doesn't use it for double IE, opts to just take the GS here. And then, I mean, GS, fantastic third item for the Samir here. Tankzilla stun pretty good. And we are well and good on our way to level 8. Very, very rich in this spot. Last augment here. Ooh, big sword augment tends to be very good in this comp. You're kind of done with your Samir items, but I mean, this does open up like Volibear items. I would probably still take this, but we'll see. We'll have 2 buff. Yeah, you actually roll it, and wow, we get Giant and Mighty and Tiny but Deadly, the 2 of these ones that were added back into the game. I really like the pickup of either Tiny but Deadly or Giant and Mighty. Probably Tiny but Deadly here, because Soul Fighter is not a trait that has inbuilt at HP. It doesn't have inbuilt attack speed. What I love about both of these options is they buff the golem, right? These are team-wide. You're gonna see the golem get tiny and deadly here, which is so smart. I mean, it almost reminds me of playing for 7 mech, where you really like taking power-ups that buff up the mech as well. So that's kind of what we're doing in this spot here. Continuing to roll down here, praying for that Samira. We do find set 2, which is big. Gonna, yeah, probably sell off the Jinx pair here. I think this is totally reasonable here. And we have power-up incoming. We have this Yone as well that we're gonna play for now. Power-up here. Ooh, this is the regen one, right? He's probably moving that, right? I guess we have healing from Spirit Visage, but I don't think that one's very good. I mean, if he stays on this, I'll go translate it to make sure that he that it's the one I'm thinking of. But if it's the one I'm thinking of, the one that gives you extra regen, seems pretty meh. All right, roll down. Do finally pick up Samira here, and yeah, we have the Yone in as our random +1 here. Opt to take, what was that, Sky Piercer? We don't have any armor shred. I don't know why I think it was Sky Piercer. No, it's Bludgeoner. Bludgeoner looks great here. I mean, this is Crimson Veil. You don't really care for that, and this is 5%. This is the spell crit one. Gain your spells can crit every 3 seconds. Gain 5% crit chance. This is yeah, this is Bludgeoner. Ignore 40% of armor, which is, I mean, really good onto the Jinx here. Oh, what the hell was that? Okay, I think he actually messed up there. He swapped to Shadow Clone as well. He actually messed up and threw the items onto Yone and had to burn another remover. That's crazy. Uncharacteristic mistake from YBY1. But okay. We ends up being fine though, and we do get Shadow Clone, which I do think is one of Samira's best power-ups. Just getting the double cast is really, really nice. They just stack on. I mean, it's just a bunch of extra damage. So it's just good, honestly. Reforges Rod here while on Carousel, just to see what else we can pick up. And we do end up actually picking up a cloak here, which can turn into Evan's Shroud, I think. Now my only, hesitation, and yeah, it is going to be Evan's Shroud here. My only hesitation with Evan Shroud, well, I think it's actually not even an issue here. Normally, I'm like, you really want triple tank set items, because this guy, he just needs triple tank items to be really tanky, and you need, once again, a really tanky front line to be strong when you're playing this comp. You need that. Now, it's pretty chill in YBY1 spot, because we have a really tanky front line. It's called these Giant Golem, or this Giant Golem. There's only one. I saw the 2 Samiras, and it got slipped up on it. But yeah, just one Giant Golem, I mean, it's so much extra frontline. So yeah, we can actually afford to then build an aura item on our frontline. I mean, it's a better item than something like a Last Whisper, because it's going to apply really, really nicely to, all the units that Samira ends up hitting. There's no one who can really hold Last Whisper here happily. You can throw it onto Yone, but it's going to be quite awkward for him to apply it to as many units as obviously the Even Shroud can here. So nice stuff from YBY1 here. We got in a pretty early 8 Soul Fighter. This is checkmate format. This is not the final game of the tournament, but It is a great spot. Ooh, for YBY1, we do sell off the Callista here the second we find the Gwen here. Sadly, we don't actually have any items for her, but maybe this glove can turn into, I mean, even just like a TG, honestly, wouldn't be bad. But if we can make it to 8 Soul Fighter, I mean, we got Soul Fighter, we had 8 Soul Fighter in on that first fight that we won, right? So we're already 3 wins. I mean, it's fantastic here. Gonna take Rod here for Morello, then take set item, Edge of Night. Oh, wow. Double wow, actually. I'm really shocked by this. Firstly, I thought he was going to make Steadfast Heart onto the set here for a 3rd tank item. And secondly, I thought the Morello was just going to go onto the Gwen. I guess his idea is that Yone is actually stronger than... Yone 1 is stronger than Gwen 1 just at applying stuff like this. Gwen 1 can actually just get blown up pretty easily. Yone 1... I mean, he can still also get blown up pretty easily, but I guess he thinks he's better. And the nice thing is we also made Edge of Night, which is a fantastic item later for both of these units. Wow. What is this? I mean, yeah, I mean, he realized, you know, he was almost on the way to 9, but he kind of realized, like, man, I really need actually Samira 2 to be stable here, and has to roll it so deep. Rolls it to 0 and Scuttle Puddle to hit Samira 2. That is wild. But I mean, he knew, like, if we push 9 in this spot, there's actually really good odds we don't hit Samira. We don't actually have the gold to go 9 and hit Samira 2 on 9, especially after losing that last fight, dropping down to 37 HP. And I mean, look at this fight. Samira 2 was huge here. We are just barely going to lose, but this would have been a horrible loss had we not rolled deeper here. So, wow. And yeah, now is going to move the items over to... Okay. So, yeah, I think this makes more sense. I was really interested by his prio on the Yone, but I think he acknowledges that it's just a mistake. Okay, fair enough. I will agree the Edge of Night is actually really transformative onto the Gwen here, and you don't really need tank items on this board. I mean, you have a giant golem, so who needs it? The Edge of Night's actually going to be way more consequential because it's going to keep this Gwen alive, keep your heal cut alive, which is so important here. Really close fight here versus Maris here, but we do pick up the dub. Iron Ball getting really low here. This game all of a sudden got really close. I still think we would like a last set item here. I mean, even Bastion Spout wouldn't have been too bad. Ugh, I guess you could take BT. Yeah, I guess you could also just take Double Spirit Visage and live with it. He stayed on the regen one, right? He is still on the regen one on his let me screenshot this to make sure, but I'm pretty sure he's still on the regen one, which is wild to me, actually. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, regeneration. I guess it makes sense. Set has a built-in heal, so he's actually just going the Giga Healing set setup. Interesting. I almost always skip this one just because I feel like it's kind of, I don't know, the numbers don't look that good to me. But I mean, I could see it here, honestly. It makes a lot of sense onto a unit that, you know, has, you know, inbuilt a lot of healing here. Also, we're locking. He opted to lock. I mean, Brahm's a fantastic level 9 in, so I guess that's his idea, is that he's just going to lock for this Braum. Doesn't want to lose the econ, and it's like, it's not like we're going to find a better shop. We've hit everything at this point. The only thing that you could find in shop that you'd really want here is Gwen. Also, really interesting positioning. Can we look back on this? I mean, is this just anti-Kali positioning or what? Who do we have in our pool here? I really want to see, like, what's the idea behind this positioning? Because it almost looks like he wants to do this. I mean, this looks like anti-Kali if he moves set up here. Maybe Terry's Akali. Yeah, I think that's what it was. He scouted him real quick right here. He's so fast, but I really want to actually see what he's doing. Yeah. Okay, so this is his anti-Akali positioning. He's trying to just ensure that, you know, Akali cannot aggro and then jump on backline. It's weird. Would Akali, like, here not walk up and, like, you know, aggro here and then dash to... Maybe not. Interesting. It's really weird. I mean, it's also made even weirder by the Tiny But Deadly here. But we rotate into Kog'Maw, actually, which this positioning, ends up being really bad versus, because our Golem ends up being the last unit alive. Yeah, this is actually a really bad loss for us here. But we do lock another round for this Braum here. Really just want to make sure that we can get him on level up. And yeah, just this is something that... I forget who I saw mention this recently, but this idea that, I mean, yeah, you can just lock your shops and allows you to make econ those rounds. And if oftentimes you're not going to find a better shop, I mean, this gave us barely enough gold to level here. Void Staff. Where's the GS then? Yeah, it has to go there, which is kind of awkward. But I mean, you know, good enough. You got to put it on somebody, and we are triple item set, I guess. These are going to be our items onto him. All right. Fighting Akali again here, once again, just trying to make sure that he doesn't have anyone too far up so that the Akali cannot aggro onto the left side here. Sadly, Samira is a unit that jumps forward, so she jumps forward into Akali ult. Hopefully we're still strong enough. Looks a little close, but we get there. Yeah. Yeah, not accounting for the Samira jump with the blue buff actually was kind of hilarious here. We actually, do remove her here. That's on the edge, right? Start with 65% HP. I think that was on the edge he took here, which seems like kind of a crazy pickup when there isn't a Kali player in the lobby, just because that is, unless it's not. But yeah, no, this is on the edge here. Okay, so he believes enough in the tankiness of the rest of his board to take on the edge here. I mean, she does. Wow, she's basically full HP there. Wow, okay, and ends up clearing the fight. I mean, Edgelord, I guess he's saying, is enough here. We do pick up the Volibear 2. Now gonna play around that. And yeah, move actually the Edge of Night over there. Wow, yeah, but I think it makes sense. A better unit certainly than Gwen 1 to play around. So good stuff here. And obviously, you know, Luchador, really, really nice on this board. Once again, trying to position for Akali. It looks like though Steppy is the only person in our pool, actually. So I guess this is just... He's trying to make sure that he doesn't get wrapped here, make sure that the Yasuo doesn't run straight to his backline. So he's kind of creating this line back to the Golem here to guarantee that the Yasuo doesn't ever wrap here. And we do pick up an easy win here. I have not been keeping a track of how many Soul Fighter wins we're at, but wow, top 2 locked in here with the Soul Fighter here. You ever just take Sniper on Gwen for the range? Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense, actually, even though we don't have a sniper on the board here, but just the range is really, really good. All right, gonna roll down here, see if we can pick something up. I mean, not much left to find at this point. Gwen 2, Braum 2, but we're pretty broke here. We do not get to the Prismatic Soul Fighter, and this is certainly gonna be the last fight. Can we beat Maris's board here? Very, very strong, but good positioning on the Golem here to keep it in front. Kind of hilarious that we end up... Maris's board is crazy, by the way. And we do absolutely clear it on level 9. I actually want to go back and look at what we actually beat here. This is a crazy second place board, even. A board that could almost go first here. Yeah, let me go back here. So it's 6 Bastion. I almost want to auto review this. It's Bastion Fast 9. Bastion Fast 9 TF. But he's dual carrying Samira plus the bear here on the board, which is pretty cool. And so he ends up with like the random Yasuo as well. So it's a 4 Edgelord setup as well here. It's actually not even, it's only 4 Bastion. 4 Bastion, 4 Edgelord. I guess Fast 9 with TF. That's kind of a woke game as well. I almost want to auto review that. But still, really, really cool game from YBY1, showing off the power of Soul Fighter, a trait that I think a lot of people do not think highly of. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Metafy on the links down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you guys want to know how to go second place overall in Tactician's Trials, then check out my Metafy down below. Get some coaching. You know what I'm saying? All right. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.